have no idea what the wish game is, but I wish I
Okay,
knew.
so the wish game, also it's a lot of work, but it's one of my favorite parts of the class. So I noticed that for students who can come into an intro to entrepreneurship class, like there are two issues that I was observing with my particular audience. One was that, a lot of times they're not dreaming high enough, so they would say like, oh, I want to create like an app that helps me with like gym workouts, and that's fine, but why don't you try to solve hunger in the world, right? Like, think bigger. And also the second problem was that there was not this culture of like hyper collaboration and real teamwork. And I don't mean just like sitting in the context of a team meeting and being able to brainstorm together. I mean like really thinking of this as your ecosystem, and seeing the value of collaborating and contributing and helping, because that's also part of what networking is in Silicon Valley. So I devised this game called the Wish Game, where on the first day of class, they have to write down their top three wishes for the quarter.
Okay.
And I tell them this could be find a boyfriend, like meet Elon Musk, or like find an internship, like anything, anything. And so people over the years have asked us for meetings with like VCs, or like go and have lunch at Facebook, or like some of them said, I want to go to Vegas and have a ride. I mean, like anything. It could be really any wish that's important to you. One of top three wishes. And then every week, we choose one person's wishes out of a hat.
Okay.
Then that wish gets fulfilled, but not by me, not by my instructors, by everyone. So we all work together to fulfill this wish, and we will try to make one of the three work out. And so typically, they will have things like I want to meet Elon Musk, but they will also have more doable things like I want to go and have a um, witness like a debate by VCs when they're talking about a company. So like be a fly on the wall, right? Um, and the part that's actually really great is that the students themselves can contribute to the fulfillment of a wish.
Mm.
And if a student, a peer, helped in the fulfillment of the wish, then that person gets their wish fulfilled. So there's this paid forward thing.
Oh.
And so there's a lot of incentive for people to try to contribute
Uh-huh.
to the accomplishment of this wish. And so uh, I love it because people like have to think hard about what is their priority for the quarter,
Mm.
and so that already puts them in the mindset of I want to take advantage of the class of this quarter of my life here, like as much as possible.
Uh-huh.
And two, they learn this principle of like when the tides are up, all the boats go up. So if one of you gets gains a wish and you help, then you go up with them too. So this is not competition in a strict sense, but it's more about hyper collaboration. And at the same time, like I get to be Santa Claus. Like I get to make people happy. And so at the end of the quarter, like there are people who didn't win, of course, and so we have the last week of classes. We don't have any classes. We just have a ton of activities that are extracurricular, like not part of, like we don't disclose this anywhere. It's just all surprises. And
Mm.
so like we'll make a video of the class throughout the course, and the person who contributed or volunteered to do that like will get prizes at the end. So like karma for being
Uh-huh.
active. We'll have like company visits, field trips. We'll have fun trips where we invite them to a sailing trip with um, awesome founders, or we organize a dinner with um, people in the space that you want to meet. And so a lot of different things that give them a taste of Silicon Valley. So it's the reward for having done the theoretical, more academic thing of going through the project, and now they get to like experience Silicon Valley in real life. And that's how we conclude the class.
Wow. Okay. So just for any professors out there who might be watching this, just things that obviously you have an incredible asset in that you are in Silicon Valley, like physically. Most, the vast majority of our professors are not, but they are all around. At least there should be some metropolitan area that's close, and of course we have the web, right? So we can do all sorts of things virtually. So for anyone out there who's like thinking, considering how to apply these same principles and how to make awesome field trips for your students, yeah, just know that it doesn't have to be Silicon Valley. I know a lot of our
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of our
Yeah,
professors.
it could be anything, right? Because at the end of the day, what I tell them is, look, as students, you have access to so much more than that. If I write a letter to a congressman, it will get ignored. If a bunch of students write a letter to a congressman or women, there's more likelihood. I don't say it's going to be guaranteed, but there's more likelihood that that could go somewhere. So it's really more that principle of take advantage of the fact that you can dream high or large, and that when you bring together a group of people to fulfill a wish, um, it's very likely you will get somewhere. Maybe not exactly that wish. Some people actually, will have a wish, and once we're like working on that wish, they will, reframe the problem, and they
Mm,
will like change. They'll say, no, that's actually not really what I want. Like, typically, like they'll say, I want to meet Mark Zuckerberg, and then you really like, what do you want to meet him for? Like, what is really your job? And then like you dissect it, and they say, no, really, what I want is to be able to pursue grad studies in the U.S. And so they're like, why would you go to Mark Zuckerberg for that? Like, these are the people you have to talk to. And so, I mean, there's a lot of like introspection that comes around with it, and even if the teachers don't have access to these things, like you, as somebody in the class may. I mean, this is
mm,
the crazy thing. Like, maybe this is more because it's Stanford, but there are students who really, by 20, they have created a great network, and they're resourceful in very, very special ways. And so if you push them to share that with the rest of the students, it will come out, things
mm.
that are not obvious.